Have you ever seen a stray pet in your neighborhood but wasn't sure exactly what to do or who to call? Then stay tuned to CityWorks and find out. Hello everyone and welcome to CityWorks. I'm Valerie Starn. Today we're talking with Katie Ingram from OC Animal Care, and you also have a special guest. Welcome Katie, and tell us who this is.
Well, thank you for having us. This is Lily. Lily is a 3-month-old Cairn Terrier, maybe Shih Tzu mix. She's just a baby. She's got a ton of energy, and she came into our shelter as a stray. Great personality and looking for a new home.
And this is the case every day at the shelter because
Yes.
you're one of the largest shelters in Orange County. What is your service area?
We serve 17 cities in Orange County and all of the unincorporated areas, and that does include the Huntington Beach area.
So it's a daily challenge for you to care for the strays, also those dogs and cats and other animals that have been given up or surrendered, which is always a sad story. And it's your job to find them new homes.
That's right.
How great of a task is that?
It can be overwhelming at times, honestly. We take in about 25,000 animals per year, mostly dogs and cats, but also some bunnies and exotic type animals. And we have a couple of jobs. Number one, we need to try to find their owners if we can. So we spend a lot of time looking for microchips and tags and posting the animals online. And
Lily's
my
very
goodness,
vocal.
Lily, yes, you're excited. She wants me to talk about her some more. And then really our second job is to try to find them homes like we're trying to do for little Lily here.
So when you have a sweet animal like Lily and these beautiful eyes and cute little whine, and you know, obviously she could just look into the camera and find a forever home pretty easily.
Right.
But that isn't always the case because at your shelter it's not just puppies and kittens.
That's right.
You have every variety of dog and cat and the exotics and the more unusual pets.
Right.
They all need homes.
That's right.
Some of them have special needs. There's also that need to find a forever family for a dog that might have vision impairment or some other, or just an elderly animal. What is your process to try to get the word out about those special needs animals?
So we have a couple of processes. We have a full-time staff member whose job is to coordinate with our nonprofit local rescue groups. And so we do a few things. She takes videos of them, goes out and evaluates them with our veterinary staff, sends x-rays to the rescues. We have a special email that goes out to our groups every single morning and gives them a list of all of the dogs and cats that have those special needs and what the needs are. And recently we created a new website for our rescues to access as well, where they can see a picture, a brief description of the issue, and then contact us if they want more information. Our rescues take about 30% of our animals at the shelters.
30%, that's a significant help.
That's right. And for us, we couldn't do what we do without them and the resources that they provide to our pets.
Let's backtrack for a second. For somebody not familiar with a rescue organization, how are they rescuing an animal from a shelter?
I know, that is kind of interesting, and it's a unique partnership for sure. They basically, what we have in Orange County are 501c3 nonprofit groups who, just like us, are dedicated to helping animals. But because we're open admission, we take in every animal that we find or is brought to us. Our mission is a little different from theirs. Their mission is to go to shelters and help animals that may not be doing well in a shelter environment and provide resources that a shelter doesn't have.
Do the rescues target specific breeds usually, or are there other theme rescue groups that come?
So it kind of varies. It used to be a lot of breed-specific rescues, but as shelters have changed and we take in more mixed breed animals, a lot of rescues now have sort of opened up the types of animals they take in. Most of them are taking anything that needs help now.
Now, of course, the message is spay and neuter. We've
Yes.
all heard it, and it's been years and years of having this message broadcast loud and clear. Still, though, it's a problem because you get unwanted puppies and kittens. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, and kittens especially. Lily's kind of unique, actually, that we're seeing less puppies. I think more people are getting the word and understanding the importance of spaying and neutering their dogs. But outdoor cats create a significant challenge at the shelter because if they're not spayed and neutered, they can produce thousands of unwanted kittens every year, and every shelter is challenged with how they're going to find placement for those animals.
I know another problem that shelters face is having a pet dropped off because that pet didn't work out in the home.
Right.
Now, maybe not enough research was done, or maybe there is a specific problem of an allergy that people didn't realize, but what do you tell people before adoption to make sure that doesn't happen?
It's kind of a mixture of things. So we all of our animals have a kennel card with a basic profile written on there. If we know something specific, like it didn't do well with other dogs or cats or small children, or maybe just because they're high energy or strong, we try to pre-warn an owner what issues they might face or challenges they might have with training and integrating a new pet. So we do that up front. We also talk a lot about getting them right into training, making sure that they introduce their new pets slowly to their existing animals and family. And then we also give them a 30-day period where they can either bring them back or contact us or speak to our vet and work with us to help animals fit into their new home. If it doesn't work out, they can bring them back, but a very small percentage of animals actually get brought back with that process.
For someone interested in adopting, if they want to come down to the shelter, they're certainly welcome to and visit and spend time. If they don't quite have the heart for that, because it's a hard thing for some people to do, there's also an option to check out the animals that you have online. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. So we have all of our animals on our website, Lost and Adoptable, and it updates every half an hour, and it includes a couple of things. So name, a picture, of course, the city that they came from. So if a Huntington Beach resident has lost an animal, they can look and see which ones came from their city. We also have a new app that we developed a few weeks ago, and that does the same things, but a little easier to access from a mobile device than our website would be. But they both give an opportunity to see the animals in real time.
So OC Animal Care, there's an app for that.
There's an app for that. Finally, there's an app for that.
That's wonderful. So if somebody does want to adopt, what's required of them?
First, we actually do ask that they either check out the website or the app, or they come to the shelter and spend some time looking at the animals, talk to our volunteers and staff, and find a pet that's going to be the right fit. Then we ask that they take that pet out on a visit, and they spend some time really getting to know them outside of the cage with a staff member there that can talk to them about the expectations, the challenges they might face. From there, it's fairly simple. So at our shelter, they basically just need to have an ID. They need to be over 18. We do check their record to make sure they don't have too many animals at home and they don't have something alarming on their record. But if everything checks out, then there's an adoption fee that's anywhere from $100 to $200. And if the pet is spayed or neutered, they can go home today. If they're not, we keep them for a couple of days and spay them and send them home.
Well, it sounds like Lily is ready for her
She's
forever
totally
home.
ready. Yeah, she is.
So if you're interested in Lily or any of the wonderful pets at the OC Animal Care Center, they are ready to match you up with just the right pet for you. Katie Ingram, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing Lily with us.
Thank you.
We're going to be right back with more CityWorks after this.
You spent years hard at work, building your skills and talents, raising your family. And lately, like me, you're probably feeling a need to help your community. You have the time to give, you have the capacity to care, you have the experience to contribute. And your country needs you, one of its greatest assets, Americans whose lifetime of knowledge and know-how will make the difference. So how can you impact the lives of others and change the future of our nation? Take what you learned in the workplace and apply those skills to your community. Shape tomorrow by being a mentor and tutor for children. Make independence a reality for people who need assistance and companionship to continue to make their house their home. Find an opportunity to use your skills and life experience. Make a difference today. Get involved.
Because play might be the best way to fight obesity.
Because staying connected makes my family stronger, healthier, and happier.
Because a safe place after school can lead to success in school.
Because physical activity is vital to my health and well-being.
Because I need to make my world better.
Because playing team sports teaches the character and social skills that build leaders.
Because learning with others makes for a greater understanding.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Welcome back to CityWorks. I'm Valerie Starn. Joining us now, the founders of Wagon Trails Rescue Foundation. We have Gisela Campagne and also Victoria Alberti. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about Wagon Trails. That's an interesting name for a rescue foundation. What's the story behind that?
Thank you. Wagon Trails, because our wagon is moving at all times. The wheels of our van move. Back in 2012, we decided to start a rescue foundation. We, meaning my daughter and I, Ingrid, we felt that there is a need to rescue more dogs than just a couple, 2 or 3 every month that most local rescue organizations rescue. So we came up with a way to rescue many, many more every month. And that is, we partnered with like-minded rescues in other states and Canada. We found that our California shelters are saturated with animals that are just begging to be adopted. And in the other states, Oregon, Washington, especially Canada, Vancouver and Calgary, we found that they don't have, especially small dogs, in their shelters. And we found a way by rescuing them from our shelters and sending them to the other states where they will be readily adopted.
Now, you're based in Huntington Beach. Victoria, how did you come on board with this mission?
I'm kind of her right-hand man. I help with the fundraising aspects to keep the whole program going for them, and just partners in crime on all of our events.
Fundraising must be a huge key for making this concept a success for what it is that you do. I want to ask you for a bit more detail. What is the challenge there? What dogs are you traveling to the different places that you go to seek out, and why?
Well, the reason, one of the breeds of dogs that is just overflowing in our shelters are Chihuahuas and Chihuahua mixes, and of course the Pit Bulls. So we have pretty much focused on the smaller dogs, Chihuahua mixes, and those are the ones that are so readily adopted in these other states and in Canada. But we also can't turn our backs on the Pit Bulls. So of course not anywhere near in the numbers that we rescue the smaller dogs. We also have had some wonderful results placing some of the Pit Bulls and even German Shepherds, just larger dogs also. So we're pretty excited about that. Maybe Victoria can tell you a little bit more about a special program that where we take dogs for the larger dogs.
The larger dogs are headed for an interesting destination.
Yes, one of the prison programs up in Washington, one of the partners that she's hooked up with, so they're now getting, and a lot of these dogs, they're into the rescues down at the shelters because they were not maybe good companions, or they've had, not raised properly. So they can go now into these prison programs and get paired up with an inmate, and they get to be socialized to make them adoptable. So it's helping the prison system up there, as well as saving the lives of these dogs that would have, usually been put down
at the
because
end of
their
program,
breed. So then they get out and get into the fosters and get adopted.
The dogs have a second chance because they become adoptable, and at the same time the prisoners are learning important social skills as well.
Yeah.
How you are a multi-state agency? How and your daughter is still involved? She is up in San Francisco.
Absolutely, she's heavily involved. She does a lot of the special needs animals. Also, we all work together, and we also work with. When I said special needs, some of our special needs animals are the older ones. And so my daughter gets very much involved in helping place those that are very, very difficult to place. If I can give you a quick example, Orange County, our local Orange County shelter received 8 little Chihuahuas. They were all elderly from a woman that passed away, and the family didn't want to care for them, so they brought them all to our they brought them all to the shelter. So my daughter heard about that. She says, "Mom, get on the phone immediately. We need to help this." So we did. As I got on the phone, excuse me, as I got on the phone quickly with Orange County, she got on the phone quickly with this amazing rescue in Tacoma, where we picked up the 4 of the animals, and they were all very elderly. They needed severe dentals. Some of them even needed a spay and neuter, which we all took care of. And then my daughter Ingrid, on the other end, got everything set for these little guys to have a home. So we had a very small transport that time, but it was a special one, and we could not leave these dogs. So we only left with 4 of the dogs off to Tacoma.
You mentioned that a lot of the shelters that you travel to rescue dogs, they just don't have the foot traffic, so they don't have, a lifetime home, people looking for a dog for a lifetime home coming through that part of town.
Exactly. We're talking about the mid-state. We're talking about close to Bakersfield. There's a shelter called Delano. There's one, Ferguson. And these shelters are so meager. They run mostly by volunteers, and these shelters don't even have roofs on them. So you can just imagine in the summertime these animals are just hovering in the corner, and there is absolutely no foot traffic, as you know, that you would have here in Orange County or in some of the bigger cities. People go through looking for animals. Well, these little shelters have no one. And if it wasn't for rescues like us, these dogs would surely be put down.
It takes tremendous compassion to do what you do, but Victoria, it also takes fundraising. Is
Yes.
that right? Talk about the challenge you face to make it all happen.
Well, with the cost, as you heard, with the dental, the fixing them, the van, the gas, everything that goes involved in the fees of this, it's quite a lot. So we do things during the year to help raise money for it. Our big signature one we do hold here in Huntington Beach, and it's on June 26th, and we call it Wags and Wine. So we have a lot of wonderful support from the community in terms of local restaurants. Wineries are coming down from Napa even to pour wine at this event. We have local breweries involved.
Where does it take place?
It's going to be at the Huntington Harbor Bay Club this year. And we have live music, an unbelievable silent auction, which is how we raise a lot of the funds. So that's our biggest one. So she completely relies on the generosity of all our donors, whether it is financial donation, sponsorship, attendance, the auction items. You know, it's a lovely day. It's about 600 people that show up for it, and people bring their dogs. And we have a pooch pageant. And on that pageant, everyone's like very anxious to be in part of that because they dress their dogs up. It's hilarious, and it's so much fun. So it's a really nice day. And then we have other little things that we do throughout the year. We do a holiday party at the Hilton. The Paisley Wine Rep in Napa, that our daughter helps put this one on. We do a spring one up there also to get people in that area involved. So we try and do as much as we can, and I help put these on, with her, and get as many people as we can to attend and enjoy the day.
And it's such a wonderful day, too, because people walk away with their own wine glass. We have wonderful folks that help us sponsor these. So everybody gets their own wine glass. The Five Points Shopping Center has been our main sponsor, our top dog sponsor, for 5 or 6 years. This, by the way, will be our 7th annual that we're putting on. And and then they'll walk away with a beautiful plate, commemorative plate. So, it's a wonderful day with people leaving with a good feeling and some wonderful things to take back that they'll have all year long.
Sounds like a great event to support a terrific cause and all the hard work you both do. Thank you so much, Victoria and Gisela.
Thank you.
We've been checking out a fabulous organization, Wagon Trails Rescue Foundation. We're going to be right back with more CityWorks after this.
I know they never make me play with these guys, but why do they make me train like them?
Training hard is important, and for professional athletes, it's their job. But kids aren't professionals and shouldn't train at that level. Keep kids safe on the playing field and out of the operating room. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
Hello? Hello? I've been on the street for a while. I saw your poster outside. I ran away from home. I don't know what else to do.
National Runaway Switchboard, how can I help? Call 1-800-RUNAWAY to make the connection.
It costs about 60 cents for one can of food, and about $80 to send it where it needs to go, and even more for storage. When sending help to those struck by disaster, eliminate the middleman by sending cash. Cash can provide food, water, medical supplies, shelter, and so much more. Cash is best. For more information, visit CIDI.org.
Welcome back to CityWorks. Joining us in the studio now, Courtney Dorney from Wags Pet Adoption. Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And who do you have with us today?
Today I brought Timothy. He came to us as a stray from the city of Westminster. He is a 5 to 7-year-old purebred Chihuahua. He actually came to us already neutered, already microchipped, and wearing a Dumbo t-shirt.
Oh my.
No one came looking for him. I mean, he was definitely somebody's owned pet. They cared for him and loved him up to a particular point, and then did not come looking, did not update their microchip information. And he is one of many of the sad stories that are seen at most animal shelters.
And he also represents a few of the challenges you face with pets. Let's talk about, first of all, Timothy's age.
Yes, that is strike one. For most adopters, they're coming in looking at puppies or seniors because they feel bad for the 10, 12-year-olds that need a retirement home. Timothy is in that mid-range. 5 to 7 is not something that most people are coming in to look at. The little bit of gray on their face makes people continue to walk on. Strike 2 is his color. Most people, for one reason or another, do not want black animals. Black cats are number one not ever adopted.
Oh, that's
ever. People
that's
are
a shame.
Absolutely. They're superstitious. They're plain looking. They want something that's striking and the colors that pop out. Black doesn't do that. And Chihuahua is his strike 3. We literally have people walk into our shelter and we always ask, what are you looking for? So we can kind of get an idea of how to guide them to the right dog for them. Anything but a Chihuahua. People will literally say that to us as they walk in the door. So
that is because of the numbers of, unfortunately, unwanted Chihuahuas in Orange County. It's the top breed.
Absolutely. And Westminster is no exception. It's there's so many single family houses, apartments, townhomes where they need to have little dogs. So we're not really a big dog city. This is what we get, Chihuahuas and Chihuahua mixes. So unfortunately, Timothy has 3 of the 4 strikes against him, which is one of the reasons why I brought him today, to kind of showcase those so we could talk about it. He's housebroken, he's quiet, he wants to be your buddy. I mean, he's sitting here with the cameras and the lights and nothing is fazing him. He's a happy, easygoing guy, but the 3 strikes that he has against him make people walk by and just pass his kennel.
You mentioned the 4th strike, and this is something that Timothy is not.
Correct. Fourth strike, is a pit bull. That's another thing that people say when they come in. Anything but Chihuahuas and pit bulls. We hear that most frequently. They can't get past the news media. They can't get past the look. Whatever the case is that everybody has as they're coming in the door that does not want to even consider that breed.
You do things differently at WAGS. You go the extra
do.
mile and have programs in place that are phenomenal.
Thank you.
Let's go through some of those in the quick 5 minutes we have
I know,
together.
Absolutely.
First of all, how do you make sure that your pets are adoptable?
We do an extensive medical and a behavioral assessment. I've been a trainer and a behaviorist for 19 years. We are located inside of an animal hospital with phenomenal veterinarians that all have their heart in WAGS and want to help us find responsible owners for them, and in turn make sure that we're sending out responsibly adoptable pets. So we want to make sure that we're doing full med checks. We have a doctor that comes in and does ultrasounds, and she doesn't charge us for them. So all of our senior pets get full body ultrasounds to make sure that we're not missing anything. They get full behavioral assessments to make sure that we know, can they go with dogs? Can they go with kids? Can they go with cats? Should they go to an active owner, a more sedentary owner? We have a full breakdown. So when you come in and you tell us what you're looking for, we know exactly where to point you in the right direction of who would be a good fit, because our goal is to find forever homes, not just this one looks really cute and it likes me, but it may not fit with your lifestyle.
Tell us about the new program that you've started with some of your unruly cats that you have at the hospital.
We have some hissy cats, and so that's what we named our program. Our HISS program is primarily for those cats that should be able to find a home. We do have a feral cat colony, quite a few of them in the city of Westminster, but we do have those that are kind of on the borderline that could be feral and maybe not necessarily adoptable, and we would be part of our TNR program, which we can talk about if we have time. Otherwise, they stay in and they're part of HISS. And what HISS is we have volunteers come in and just sit. We have cage-free cat rooms. The cats are not kept in cages unless they don't play well with others. So people can just come in and sit on the floor and just interact and socialize and play and give treats. We want the cats to come up to people as they come in to pick out their pet for adoption. We have those cats that don't do that, so that's what our HISS program is for. HISS is also our only program that we allow children under 18 to come and volunteer, which I know a lot of shelters don't have programs for kids. If they come with a parent, they're welcome to help. Since we've started HISS about 2.5, 3 months ago, about half of the cats that are in the program have been adopted, and those cats had been with us for over a year.
What a great story.
So it gives us goosebumps whenever we talk about it, because just knowing that they were just sitting there and no one was paying attention to them because they wouldn't come up to people, they weren't interacting. And now that at least 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day, moms and daughters, dads and sons, whoever the groups are that are coming through, are just sitting down. They're just laying on the floor and the cats are coming up, and it's non-threatening, and it's not just people coming in to medicate them or quickly cleaning and then back out the door. These people are coming in, they're taking the time, they're socializing, and to see the turnaround has been fantastic.
And that's not the only program you need volunteers for.
Absolutely not. It is kitten season right now. We have kittens coming out of our ears. We need volunteers for that. And we have various levels of kitten fosters that we have. We have kittens that come in that need a bottle. So we need people that are willing to do bottle feeding, which is every 2 to 3 hours, usually around the clock. We have transition babies that are off the bottle, that people would just let them grow, just let them play and grow and socialize. And then we have our kittens that are old enough to be adopted, but not old enough to be in our HISS program, so they need to just go home and be social and learn to like people. We also need thanks buddy. We also need dog volunteers. We need dog walkers. We need dog socializers. We need people to help us come and clean. We have staff, but the amount of animals, always outnumbers the staff, so people can help get ready for the day, get the animals ready for adoption and bathing and, like I said, walking, playing out in our play yard, things like that.
You also, we have just a minute left,
yes.
but you also do a good job of not just screening your pets, screening your people.
Absolutely.
Somebody walks in your door, you're going to make sure they're there for the right reasons to find the right pet, because the goal is, like you said, a forever home.
Correct.
How do you go about that?
So we do have an application process, and we also ask that people bring in proof of owning or renting where they live. We want to make sure that the pets are going to be allowed where they're going. So many times landlords find out, the pet comes right back around. We're trying to avoid that. It's not many people's favorite thing to have to bring in. They want to just come in and have it be easy and pick out their pet. But again, our goal is to find that forever home and make sure that we found a good fit. The application process kind of picks through things that we may not be able to articulate in a question form. Lifestyle, activity level, do they have other pets at home? Have they ever had dogs or cats before? We really want to try to narrow down the best fit for them.
Well, if you're looking for some companionship, a great way to find out about the pets would be to volunteer.
Absolutely, and we've had many foster failures in our history so far, which is our favorite, because we know that means that they have really put their heart and souls into their fostering or volunteer work, and they found their favorites.
That's wonderful. All right, well, Courtney Dorney from Wags Pet Adoption, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having us. You did good.
You did very well, Timothy. And that does it for this episode. For more information about anything we've talked about today, please visit the websites we've provided. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on CityWorks.